sides. Okay? Naman sa tayo quad nga design, meaning all the 4 sides na pins. Ang mga processor, naka-open naman mo ano? PC. Naka-open naman processor. Ang mga pins niya, wala na pins. Ang uban ganit, gagamit o LBA. Okay? Or ang uban, gagamit o grid ball arrays. Okay? So, ang mga pins niya, basically, nasa ilalong. Okay? Kaya para ko no, maka-minimize o resistance, contact points from the microprocessor itself into the pins of the circuit or motherboard. Okay? Yeah, ang density sa connection mas taas po. Kaya nga naman, diretsyo man siya sa ilalong, mas daghang pins ang pwede okay? So, kapila na ka-book pins guys, makita na ito, ilang sa processor.
Ubay-ubay sir.
Huwag ninyo gisuway yung count. Okay? So, pero di na diyong daghana. And it is impossible for you to put all those pins on the side. Di dyan kaigo. Okay? So, to be formal about our definition of a microprocessor, unsa jud din ang microprocessor. Okay? So, when talking about microprocessor, it's basically just an integration of a number of useful functions into a single IC package. And these functions involves, first, the ability to execute a stored set of instructions to carry out user-defined tasks. Okay? And this this set of instructions are stored in an external memory chip, which is ang iyang next ability to be able to access external memory to both read and write. Okay? Manong write man? Okay, o kung sa may purpose on reading. So initially, from the first ability, it reads the instruction. Okay? When reading the instruction, it decodes, then it executes. Okay? So inside the memory, dili ra na siya basically reading the information in the memory. It also involves updating those information. Okay? Now, let's see for example, unsa may gamit sa RAM sa inyong computer. Okay? What's the purpose of your RAM? Can your PC work without a RAM?
Dili sir. Mo black ang sir.
Mo black ang
sa display. Hindi siya mo madagay.
okay? So, di jud mo dagan kay nganuman importante man gud kay na siya ang RAM sa inyong computer's operation. Okay? That is where your hardware resources are allocated. Let's say for example, if you want to make use of your mouse, if you want to make use of your monitor, okay, if you want to make use of your sound card, okay, so your processor communicates through the memory para makontrol ang inyong mga hardware. So if you try to look at Windows, okay, and you try to visit kaniya to ang device manager, okay. So all the while when we talk about the memory, atong ginauna lang jud sa mga application, di ba? Ana man magdagan ang application sa memory. But take note, all your resources, like let's say for example, your display adapters. Okay? So makabantay mo na yung resources. Okay? And that resources that has been allocated for the graphics card is located on this memory. Okay? So napud na sa RAM na ma-access. So muna, it's not just simply reading lang what information is there, but also updating. Updating the information at that address also updates what has been shown on your screen. Okay? So dili lang ang application ninyo guys ang i-allocatean og memory, pati po ang hardware. Okay? So, the third, okay, function, ability to interface with your I/O devices. Again, via the help of your memory. Okay? Yan ang sa tinatawag na direct memory access, DMAs. Okay? So, ang mga device na ilang memory and you directly access that device through its memory. Okay? So, ginawagi sa RAM. Okay? So, this is the block diagram of a computer system. And as you can see, separate ang memory, ang I/O devices, ang clock sa inyong CPU. Okay? So usually when you talk about computer system, a microprocessor is just a part of a computer system. Okay? So, unsa man ang suludan ng CPU? Sa meaning sa CPU?
Central processing.
Unsa may makita nato sa CPU? Microprocessor. Okay? So, inside your CPU, also known as your microprocessor, we have the so-called ALU, the control units, and the register array. Okay? To which is where your I/O devices are connected and your memory unit is also connected. Okay? So, sa meaning sa ALU, guys?
Arithmetic, logic.
Arithmetic logic unit. And it's in charge of
Yung arithmetic.
arithmetic and logic operation. And the control unit, so gamitan na niya. So it controls the instructions and it generates the signals to operate the other components. Okay? So CI mo navigate as to whether kailangan ba mo read or write into the memory. And access ba other data in the registers. Okay? Also, we have the so-called register arrays. Okay? Kung saan man register array. So as you can see there, it is basically used by programmers to store arbitrary data. Okay? So they are also known as general purpose registers. So essentially, to make the communication faster, instead na ang ubang data ilabay balik sa memory, i-store na siya diri sa registers. So there are registers there in your CPU na gitawag nato na ay specific function. Okay? For the operation of the CPU. Okay? So later we will get to know some of those registers. Again, based on the microcontroller. Okay? So, of course, the I/O devices, we use it to transfer data between the computer and other external devices. So, a bit about the evolution of computers. So, nakita nato sa itong timeline earlier na nag-start sa 70s, okay, ang pag-release sa microprocessor, which is just a 4-bit na processor. Okay? So, ang ihang ma-perform operation, again, very simple, addition, subtraction, or and operation. Okay? So, nana siya capability, take note, as early as that, 70s, it is able to perform operations like fetching from the memory, decoding it, and then generating the control pulses to execute the operation required from the instruction. Okay? So, pag-abot sa second generation, ni-increase to 8 bits ang mga microprocessor. That means it can now process 8 bits of data at a time. Okay? Next, we have the third generation, 16 bits. Okay, so kuyog pod with Zilog. Okay? Then you have the fourth generation, okay, which is nisaka into 32 bits. Okay, so anhi ni sikat si Intel. Okay, ang development sa 386 or again probably nakadungog mo na sa uban. Napa mo yung mga 386 na computer. Okay, so mga earlier release ni siya sa mga desktop na mga computers. Okay, so muning panahon na ang operating system nimo madadara nimo kay naara sa disket. Okay? Wala pa mauso ang mga hard drives ato. Diskette pa lang ang gamit. Okay? So sa 5th generation, na tayo mga 64-bit microprocessors. Okay? So nanadira ang kanang Celeron nagsunod. Okay? So Pentium series, mga dual core, quad core, okay? Nanadira sa microprocessors. Okay? So essentially, when we are working with microprocessors, simple lang kayo namin yung i-execute na operation. Fetch the instruction, decode it, then execute. Okay? So when you say fetch, it reads the instruction that came from the RAM. Okay? So going through the processor, it decodes and executes the instruction until a stop instruction is met. Okay? So, mara na guys, ang operation sa microprocessor. Okay? So, ilang tamong dig deep about it, okay? And not even compare it to the modern microprocessors karon. Okay? Kay ang mga modern microprocessors karon hybrid na. Okay? Dili na siya simple as based diri sa atong discussion. Okay, we will be talking about the modern architecture of the microprocessors. Sumbuhon na ta. Okay? Tungod sa complexity sa iyang design. Okay?
Hindi ba sir kay Kwan mo? Dili, pinag-release naman itong Kwan. Nano na ang Kwan na kung sa pipisa.
Pero tinutong rumaya. Okay? So even a tip of your pen, kung mo extract ang circuit nga masuda na. Okay? Malingaw na magsinubay. Okay? So that's it about microprocessors. Let's proceed to microcontrollers. Okay, so sa microcontroller, unsa man sa microcontroller din? How does it differ from microprocessor? So sa microprocessor, it's basically a device that integrates a number of components of a microprocessor system into a single chip. So kung maghisgot ang microprocessor, integration sa different function. Pero when it comes to microcontroller, integration of a number of components of a microprocessor system. Okay? So inside a microcontroller, na ay microprocessor. Okay? Aside sa microprocessor, it could also contain memories. Okay? Components like memories of mga I/O devices. Okay? So, muna kung magtanaw kasi ang block diagram, okay, when you talk about microcontroller, nanay memory, nanay clock, nanay I/O devices in a single chip. So, makaingon ka lang, mas better day ang microcontroller kay naa na tanan. Ang microprocessor, processor naman yun siya. CPU ra siya. Okay? Pero again, depende sa gamit. Okay? So, tuwara na may kuhaan later. So, when talking about the word micro, it's basically a derivation from a Greek word micros, meaning small. Okay? Oh, guys, micros ba mo? Okay? So, aside sa micros, controller is a word referring to a logic circuitry that does the control action. Okay? So, one day ng microcontroller. Okay? A small controller. Okay? Ang pasabot. Okay? Micro ba ba yun? Sa una lang. Ang bubano, kasabutan ng micro. Wow, may scientific notation. May muna yun sana. Alam mo, lagi na. Okay? Patay. Okay, anyway, modern history guys, history of microcontrollers. So we know that on the 70s na-create na ang Intel 4004. So it becomes the reference for creating the so-called microcontrollers. Okay, so Intel also released during the 70s ang inahang first ever microcontroller na naay RAM o ROM on a same chip. Okay? So, it's already 8-bit na. They also released the 8031 and 8051. So, different variations sa 8048. So, ang 8031, ROM-less. Ang 8051, using mask ROM. Okay? Ano sa manang ROM-less o mask ROM? Okay? So, again, when you talk about the ROM, that is where you put your non-volatile data. That is where you put your program, the instructions you want to be run by your microcontroller. Okay? Kanang naa sa 8048 na siya RAM o ROM. Okay? So, it contains both features. Okay? But na option. Na usa ROM-less, na uban sa gagamit og mask ROM. Okay? So, what's the difference? Of course, ang pricing. Kung ROM-less, that means fixed na ang iyang programming. Okay? So, one time lang na siya. And it is the manufacturers that programs it. So, dili na mausap ang programming. Okay? So, it comes with a price, of course. So, kung one-time programmable, that means dili kayo mahal ang production sa technology nga gigamit for the programmable ROM. So, mas barato siya. Okay? So, during the 80s, napod tay microcontroller, which was also released by Microchip, the PIC16C64, which is also 8-bit microcontroller. So, at the same time, napod from Motorola, and of course, there's also the so-called Atmel. So, kana si Atmel, guys, mao na ang atbang ni Microchip when it comes to microcontrollers. Okay? So, talking about microcontrollers used by hobbyists, kaning duha ang galumba. Okay? However, karong mga panahon na, there are actually other manufacturers of microcontrollers available out there. Okay? Kanang sa mga pang industry grade, okay? Na Motorola, na Renesas, na Fujitsu, abot lang, buhi pa ba ng Fujitsu? Murag na-acquire naman na siya ng company. And TI, okay? Texas Instruments, mga microcontrollers. So, mga industry grade. However, kung isgot lang ta, something na mapalit lang nato sa market, kana Microchip, daghanak siya. Niya Atmel. Okay? So, mga pang-hobbyist. So, one sa Arduino Uno, that's actually using Atmel, na microcontrollers. Okay? Kanang gitawag na itong AVR series nila. Okay? So, if Microchip has the PIC for its microcontroller, Atmel has the AVRs. Okay? Na kompetensya sa PIC microcontrollers. Okay, so since the nag-discuss man ka ang microcontroller is an integration of number of components, these are just some of the components which we might be able to see inside a microcontroller. Okay? So na siya kanang gitawag nato guys na timer module. Okay? So this module helps allow the microcontroller to perform tasks for certain time periods. Okay? So kanang timer basically is the same circuit as that of a counter. Okay? So kung mag-ingon ka o timer na 4-bit, equivalent ra ng 4-bit na counter. Okay? So it's just basically depending on how or where the clock is sourced from. Okay? So later, ito na explain part. Okay? So aside from that, na po ubang microcontrollers na ay serial I/O, which is utilized for communication with other devices. Okay? Nganong serial communication man? So when you say serial communication, that means 1 bit of data is transmitted at a time. Hinay mo na, di ba? Why not parallel? Ito, why not parallel transmission? parallel transmission man good would require more pins. So let's say 8 bits of data ang imong ilabay, so you also require 8 pins to communicate with other devices. Whereas ang serial, minimum of 2. Okay? 1 for transmission and 1 for reference, kanang ground. Okay? Yeah, mas mahal man kung hardware ang additional kaysa sa time. Okay? So, muna ang serial nga I/O. So, they send the data out using parallel to serial conversion. On the other side, serial to parallel conversion. Okay? So, mato'y gamit sa mga PISO, SIPO, CISO, PIPO. Okay? Mga parallel in, serial out, serial in, parallel out. Okay? So, napayuban na EDC, enabling your microcontroller to accept analog input. Ganong kailangan man ng ADC, analog to digital converter? Simply because the real world is analog. Para ma-process na siya sa computer, we need to convert it into digital. Okay? So, one very simple example of what a single microcontroller chip looks like. Okay? So, may timers, okay, may CPU, may RAM, may ROM, may ADC. Then, you might also notice the port. Okay? Unsa man ang port? Port there refers to your I/O, input-output pins. Okay? Kaya just like when you talk about airport, fishing port, di ba? Anha man musod ang mga kontrabandos, anha pud mo gawas. Okay? So just like microcontrollers, the ports is where input data comes in or comes out. Okay? So muna ang term ng port. Okay? Entry or exit point sa mga data. Okay? So looking at this single microcontroller chip, kita nato that the heart is composed of your CPU. Okay? And then we also have the registers inside the CPU. Okay? So ato itong ipakita earlier. Okay? Nice registers sud sa CPU aside sa control unit. So of course, in the CPU, you have other bus like the address bus and the data bus and the control lines, which is connected to other components inside a microcontroller. So to be able to communicate with the rest of these components, okay, we need a so-called bus for your electrical signals to flow to. Okay? So ang registers nga makita nato sa CPU, again, generic, serves as a memory location. However, it also helps in performing various mathematical operation. Okay? So there are operations that requires computing nga no need nga mubalik pa sa RAM to perform that operation. To make it faster, anhi sa register E button. Okay? So again, there are mga specific registers which will be tackled later sa atong discussion. Okay? So we also have the memory unit. Okay? So that is the part of the microcontroller whose function is to store your data. So specifically, okay, kaning mga gitawag nato nga program, okay, o basically just data. So when you say data, information lang na siya na byproduct of the processing that is being performed by the CPU. When you say program, it refers to the code, the instructions that will be executed by the CPU. Okay? So when you talk about memories, okay, familiar ta nga na ay RAM. Okay? So RAM contains what? The non-volatile data, the volatile data. So volatile means that if you turn off the power, ang data na naadira mawala. Naputay non-volatile na storage in the form of the ROM, EPROM, EEPROM, and flash EEPROM. Okay? So ROM, read-only memory. In some microcontrollers, nasa itawag na OTP, meaning one-time programmable. Okay? Napoy uban nga gi-program na daan under sa manufacturer kana mga mass ROM. Okay? So which is mas barato. Gamit kay na siya kung mag-mass produce ka. Okay? Nya nganong napo may OTP sir nga one-time programmable lang ipa-program na lang nas kumpanya. No? Kay kas aram ka ma-program. There are cases mang good wherein, let's say for example, you were able to create a groundbreaking innovation. Do you really want to share your program to a possible competitor? Do you know? Usukin is China. Release ka diri. Okay, 3 months after, niya sa China, na-release na yung product a month before, kaya nakupya na.
Kuan sir ay katong DeepSeek sir. Murag pagkaog mga to kay na pay lain nga kuan na-release nga chatbot
sa Alibaba o pagpangkan sino. Release
Kuan
ko
sir
sila.
kanang Qwen LM.
Qwen, wala na sa Alibaba. Okay. Yeah, sa pa to sa US pod. Nakapagawas pod sila. Kung sa Chinese is pila to 5 million ang nagasto nila to develop DeepSeek compared sa US na pila to ka billions.
Yeah,
Another school in US nagpagawas po do $30 nga development nga LLM. O gambot asa ka lang nila gikuha $30 na.
Tapos triple na sir.
Murag presyo sa flash drive no. Pag-develop kay gipalit ra niya. Okay, so anyway, mao na siya guys. Now we have this type of EPROMs or mga ROMs. Unsa nang erasable, programmable, read-only memory. Kanang EPROM, these are those type of memory nga ang pag-erase niya is by exposing the chip into ultraviolet light. Okay? So it can be programmed electrically using another device. Unfortunately, to erase the content, you use another device which is kato, ultraviolet lamp. Mao ni ang katong mga microprocessors na naay or microcontroller na naay sticker ba. Nga mablihan nimo makita nimo sa sulod ang die mismo with the wires poking out padung sa frame. Okay? So gituyo nagbutang ang sticker which is more aluminum stickers para dili siya accidentally ma-expose sa ultraviolet light because once exposed to ultraviolet light, ma-erase ang program. Okay? So, manang sa mga EPROM. Okay? So, na po EEPROM, electrically erasable, programmable, read-only memory. That means, we use the same device to program and erase the content of the chip. Okay? So, na po flash EEPROM. Basically, parihara ng EPROM, but mas cheaper siya. Okay? So, anong napay mo gamit ng EEPROM, sir? Kung na may mas cheaper na alternative, yung pare-pareha naman din siya. Pare-pareha siya in the sense that it can be erased and programmed electrically. Pero, in terms of durability, mas lig-on si EEPROM. Like, for example, the number of read and write cycles. Mas dako si EEPROM compared ni flash EEPROM. Kung saan ng read-write capability. Imagine a paper. Okay? So, ang paper, kung sige kag erase, di ba? Munipis, mabuslot. So, if you compare it to flash EEPROM and EEPROM lang, ang EEPROM mas taas og lifespan with the number of write and erase cycles compared sa EEPROM. Okay? So later, kanang magtanaw tag datasheet, makita niya na nato dito. Okay? Ang practical specification of a microcontroller. Na makita ninyo dito ang comparison between flash ROM and EEPROM. Okay? So the bus, asa man ang bus ani? So ang bus is the one connecting the memory and the CPU. Okay? So basically a bus is just a representation of a group of lines or group of connection. Okay? So anong group man, related man siya. Okay? So address bus consists of many lines as the amount of memory we wish to address and serves to transmit addresses from the CPU's memory, while the data bus is wide as your data. And in our case, when you talk about 8-bit na mga computer, ang size sa data bus nimo same ra po. Okay? Nya kanang address bus, unsa ni pasabot ana? How come nga mag-agad man siya sa amount of memory you wish to access? Okay, now think of the address bus as like a selector input sa multiplexer. Okay? So, for example, na kay basahon, okay, nga let's say nasa ika-15 sa multiplexer. Ma-access ba nimo ang 15th nga location sa multiplexer with just 3 bits? Dili no. Kay 0 to 7 naman dapat 4 para maabot ang 15, 1111. Basically, ana ang operation sa address bus. So, for example, kanang bang kasi nakasuway diri o operating system nga 32-bit. Nya ang gibutang nga memory 8 gig. Nya nahibong mo nga di lagi ma-access ang 8 gig. 4 gig ray ma-open.
Kato man ang black kay nga concept phone na po.
Grabe po pasok na dira kay okay. Kitaan sa kidan na to ani. Okay, aga ng Windows XP. Okay, kapot pa mo na? Or nagkaon pa mo atong kuan? Diaper.
Black kay kuan.
Okay? So sa Office XP before, mga 32 bits man itong operating system. Okay? So, nato yung case nga murag nag-update o memory himong 8 gig. Yeah, reklamo na yun ng buyer ng 4 gig raman scam ko ninyo.
Ito nga ang RAM.
So, ang one day ito, ang issue is the operating system. Ang gigamit ng operating system niya is 32-bit, which is limited only to access 4 gig of data. So, or 4 gig of RAM. So, kung ganahan ka mag-access ka sa full 8 gig of memory nimo, you need to make use of 64-bit na operating system. Okay? So, ayun yan na ninyo na may mga computers nila na wala na kayo magamit. Install yung 32-bit given that you have an 8 gig of RAM installed in that computer. Okay? Diba? Mo-appear nila 4 gig radio na memory. Okay? So anyway, madayon ta. So mo na ang bus. Okay? So posible din magdayday ang address bus size o ang data bus size sa microcontroller. Yes. Okay. So we also have the ports. The ports can either be input, output, or bidirectional. So when you say input, ang port, so ang data nimo will only be receiving. Kung output ang port, so that means it generates a signal. Nya, kung input-output bidirectional, so it can act both direction. Okay? So, going back katong counters or timers, unsay kalahian sa duha? When can we call a circuit or this circuit as a counter, and when do we call it as a timer? So, as what I've said earlier, magdepende na siya sa source sa imong clock. Okay? So, let's say for example, ang imuhang source dira is an internal oscillator. Meaning, it's a clock source, a continuous train of pulses. Okay? So, let's say ang imuhang clock pulse is 1 Hertz. nya mo na gigamit nimo for the circuit. So again, counter, timer, they're basically the same. But kung ang supply nimo dira is a continuous strain of constant na 1 Hz, di ba magamit nimo ang counting ana niya as a reference for time. Kay kabaw man ka every time mo count siya 1 second na kay 1 Hz man imong supply. That's why we call it as a timer. Pero kung let's say for example nag-create ka ng circuit nya ang clock nimo gagikan sa monostable timer. Diba? Let's say for example gigamit na nimo para igsulod sa tao, i-press nimo mo count. Counter. Okay? Counter pud na because wala man kay exact reference kung kanus-ani mo siya ipa-count. Mag-agad man ka sa tao nga mosulod. That's the time we increase the time. So wala joy specific interval kung kanus siya mo-count. That's why we call it as a counter. So basically ang kaning circuit day kung magamit nimo as a reference for time, timer tawag. But kung iyang application simply mo count lang, counter. A timer can also be called as a counter. Kaya mo count man sa gihapon siya. Pero, magamit nimo as a reference with time. Kay consistent man ang speed sa counting. Okay? So, aside from timers, napoy watchdog timers. Okay? So, watchdog is a type of timer gihapon that can be utilized in microcontrollers. So, ang iyang purpose, as you can see, is used to refresh the user's program whenever the program fails to refresh. Okay? Sige, sabot na. Okay? Ngano, i-refresh man niya ang user's program. Okay? Kinsay nakasuway diri nag-program using loops. Niya, wala kagawas sa loop. Kasi tawag na to na sa OS? Deadlock. Okay, nakasuway mo na, wala.
Nakasuway.
Okay, kaya kung wala, gani, mayuhan ninyo, no? Okay? So, there comes a time when you are creating an algorithm, di na to ma-consider ang exit point. And it keeps on looping, causing the so-called deadlock. Kaya wala naman siya dahil ma-process. Matrap man siya sa loop. Okay? So, imagine if, let's say, for example, naghimo ka submarine. Ipadive di mo sa Marianas Trench. Abot ng time nga mag-prototype ka, ipadive di mo sa Marianas Trench. Abot na siya 1,000 meters under the sea. O ni kalit lang punong. Kaya nga naman, i-hang up ang inyong program. Kaya i-submit man nimo an hour before the deadline. So, ano nimo ma-review ang code. So, si buhaton, papas ka dito sa ilaw para i-reset ang program. Hassle kayo, no? Diba? Now, where does the watchdog timer comes in? Basically, as the name implies, timer. So, it's a separate module. Timer, nagsige lang na siya count. While ang program ni mo gadagan, when you say dagan, di ba, iyaman na siyang i-execute one instruction at a time. So, mura nagyan po na siya nag-count actually. Going from one memory location to the next. Executing all the codes. Now, if ever gani mo, hang up ka, magbalik-balik man siya. Di ba? Kay loop gani. So, execute ni mo ani sa ubos, then mo loop, mo balik na po dito sa taas, magbalik-balik siya. Now, what will happen to the watchdog timer? Magsigig count. Until, let's say, this is an 8-bit na watchdog timer. That means it will count from 0 to 255 before it goes back to 0 again. The moment it goes back to 0 again, it will generate a signal na i-reset si CPU. Okay? So, for example, sa imong CPU, nagdagan ng timer at this portion, siya may mo-reset sa watchdog timer. So actually, when using the watchdog timer, make sure that in your program, there's also a part there that resets the watchdog timer. Kaya nga naman, kung walay mo reset na watchdog timer, kung continue siya count, ma-reach na po niya ang 255, then it goes back to 0, i-reset niya ang main CPU, and we don't want that. So from your program, siya mo reset ni watchdog timer para mabalik. So sa tagadagan, kabut sa loop, si watchdog timer sige ug ka. Nya maapta niya ang loop. It resets. As it resets, it also resets the program. So, no need nga mo sound nakasailalom sa Mariana Trench para lang i-reset ang imuhang gihimo nga router. Okay? So, mo na siya guys, ang gamit sa watchdog timer. Okay? Pareha na ng mga spy movies ba? Na infiltrate nimo ang base sa imuhang kontra, di ba? So, nasa yung mga control tower. Guard 1. Is that area clear? Yes, it's clear. Guard 2. Okay ra ka? Yes, okay ra. Guard 3. Silent. Guard 3. Wow, Jud.
Tulog naman ito.
Skipping alarm. Code red. Area 3 ni guard 3. Why ni-respond? Patay na dito. Kaya ni-infiltrate na. Okay, so inaway mo rin na ang watchdog timer. Kung makakita siya nga, uy, wala na mo respond. Nabot na ko sa time na ko. So meaning there might be something that happened in that area. So need to reset everything. Okay? So ang microcontroller na itong i-discuss niya, naay nga na ma-feature. Watchdog timer. Okay? So serial communication, again, we use this component in our microcontroller to be able to communicate with other microcontroller utilizing lesser number of pins. So, kanin po, EDC, analog to digital converter. Again, we need this because the real world is analog. And for your microcontroller to be able to interpret those signals into something na masabtan niya, need niya i-convert into digital. Okay? Kainumdum pa ba mo how to create one? Namin sa electronics ninyo.
Sa ADC na converter doon?
ADCs. Okay? How easy is it to create an ADC? Okay? So, let's say ang output sa ADC nimo is 1 bit. Okay, that means ang ADC nimo is only able to generate an output of 0 and 1. Okay? So, pwede ra ka mo gamit ano comparator. 1 ug 0 raman. Diba? Ana raman na siya, comparator plus minus. So, nara kay resistor. So 5 volts. Given that ang resistor parehang ground value, so nadire mo ang input. Okay? So since parehang ning value, that means ang imuhang set point diri is 2.5. So if ang voltahe nimo sa Vin is less than 2.5, output niya is 0. But if the input nimo is greater than 2.5, output niya is 1. And that is just a 1-bit na ADC. Okay? Now, what about a 2-bit ADC? Okay? Pila man kabo comparator ang needed to make a 2-bit ADC? So, 1-bit high ug low raman, mga 2 resistors na required. Yung mo kag 2 bits, kapila man nimo bahin-bahinon ang imong voltage level. Kaupat, di ba? Kaupat. Kaya again, with 1 bit, 0 or 1. With 2 bits, 0, 1, 2, 3. So, naa kay dapat 4 kabuok different levels of voltages. Which is again, masulbad na ninyo by adding comparator, adding resistors.
Ito ng code. Kung mo
Okay?
na.
So that add code, how many resistors na? Okay, nana ko yung 4 kabuok resistors. So how many comparators? I need 3 comparators. Okay? So of course, dili pa man na siya enough. Kaya ang output niya tulo ka buok pin. Di na siya 2-bit. Diba? So take note, eksaka sa voltahe, una ni musiga, then kani diode. Diba? So ang kanang nga design, kulang pa na siya. Ang kaning nga output, wagi pa na og encoder. What type of encoder? Priority encoder. Okay? Priority kay ngano man. Kung musika si I1 ug I2, dapat ang magawas diri 2, di ba? So kung walay musika niya or 0, then ang magawas diri 0 0. Kung muhay ang kani diri dapita, expected kani ug kani muhay man sad. Pero ang mabasa nimo as a priority is ang input sa I3. So ang magawas diri 1 1. Okay? And that is your 2-bit nga ADC. So imagine kanang sa mga microcontroller nato, ang resolution niya is 10-bit. So kung 10-bit, pila ka buok resistor?
20.
Patay, 20.
Pwede. 11.
2 raised to the power of 10 minus 1. So mogamit ka mga 1023 kabuok resistors kung kani nga design ang inyong gamiton. Pila ka buok comparators? Mao gyapon 1023 kabuok comparators ang gamiton. And that circuit naana na siya sa mga microcontroller. Kung kamoy gipa-construct na patay, urot ang semester dito.
Parang dire, ingani ka ka sir.
Okay? So mo na ang ADC guys. So there are also microcontrollers nga nay DAC, digital to analog conversion. Okay?
Hello.
So napoy mga microcontrollers that has analog comparators. Okay? So dili lang digital data ang kaya niya i-process but also analog data. Okay? So this is like an example of a basic interconnection of a microcontroller with the bus connection. Okay? So makita nato ang CPU connected sa memory, I/O unit, serial unit o analog to digital converters. Okay? So napoy watchdog timer. Okay? Actually kulang ni siya. Nakaunta ni connection diri sa data. Diri. Okay. So from the CPU, it is able to access your timer units. Okay? Nganong i-access man yung timer unit, sir? Okay? Very useful na ang timer for certain operations. Like for example, kanang pag-generate of PWM. Okay? Or when you are performing mga multitasking operation. Very useful ang timers for that. Okay, so sa ilang, maka-encounter niya mo. Okay, so let's now try to compare your microprocessors and microcontrollers. Okay? So nakita na to ba murag hindot lagi ang microcontroller, no? Nganong microcontroller na lang day unta ang gigamit sa mga computers karon? Mas paspas kay it is capable of performing parallelism. Samtang fetch of data, it is capable of executing. Whereas ang microprocessor wala, shared man. Okay? So let's try to differentiate the two. So when talking about microprocessors, MP, suited na siya for processing information in computer systems. Whereas ang microcontroller daw is suited for operations that requires controlling of your input-output devices. Okay? So, kung need of processing, microprocessor. Ano may mga application that requires processing? O mo kabaw? Mo ni number one reason nga nung mapalit mo og laptop na nindot og specs or workstation na nindot og specs. Kung sa man nga application ang gigamit ninyo that requires a lot of processing. Hello, sila mo mga tatubo no. Diba? It requires a lot of processing, rendering 3D images. Exactly. Diba? Mag-perform ng mga simulation, CADWorks. It requires a lot of processing. So, kailangan o PC for that or processor for that. Okay? Ang microcontroller suited for I/O operation. Okay? Unsa man ang mga nag-require of I/O operation? Mga appliances, di ba? Washing machines. Di ba? Kanay niyo ang mga microwave ovens. Okay? So far, waman mo yung nakita nga washing machine no, nga Intel powered. Mahigong ka ba? May mga bagong computer sa eskwelahan. Nya, unsa na? Intel inside. Nya, mahigong lang ka, mawagtang ng mga sticker niya. Na di estudyante, ang iyang calculator na Intel inside. Okay, so sige, gamit sa calculator, processor. Kaya, why? So, basic I/O operation, microcontroller na ipanggamit ng kanila. Okay? Yoy. Murag ang uban igo, wato sir na. Buwa sa leg sticker. Okay? So again, when talking about microprocessor, the processing is intensive. Okay? And the addressing mode is very powerful. Kaya dinakiko na siya of memory ang kaya niya ma-access. And the instructions are used to perform complex operations and manipulate large volumes of data. Mo nang nindot siya for processing because it can process more data at a time. And the processing capability of microcontroller never approaches that of your MPs. Kaya nga naman, ang mga microprocessors, you measure its speed in terms of gigahertz. Once you talk about microcontroller, megahertz rin na siya. Okay? So, timani, ang usa ka instruction is 7 bytes long. That's why it's able to perform complex operation. 7 bytes at a time ang kaya niya ma-process. Okay?
Mo din ang naikuhan siya ka ng gigahertz ang palit mo speed. Ang paano 2.4 gigahertz niya sa uban nga Intel kay 4 gigahertz
Speed mo yun sa processor. How fast it clocks. Okay? So the higher the speed, the more information ang ma-process niya at a time. So let's look at microcontrollers. So again, ang design sa microcontroller is for input-output operation. Ang instructions niya are very simple. Like kung na instruction for set, na po instruction for clear. Okay? So it also makes use of simple operations like that of Boolean operations. Mga AND, OR, NOT, and jump. So take note that instruction is very compact and masudra gani og 1 byte. So imagine, dire 7 bytes ang instruction. Okay? So one of it requires more pulse or clock to execute each instruction. Okay? Yeah, in terms of hardware instruction set, sa mga microprocessor, it requires additional circuitry to do similar things with that of your microcontroller. So need niya mo gamit o kanang PPI, PIT, PIC. Again, ang PIC diri not referring to the microcontroller na PIC. It refers to an additional IC na gitawag nato peripheral interface controller. So mo mo communicate with the microprocessor. Okay? So sa una during our time makapalit magingan ng IC. Okay? Kami mag-design sa card nga ibutang sa kuan pa to siya ISA bus. Wala naman na sa mga PC karon. Kanang ISA itangtang naman nila kay hinay man mga PCI naman na karon. Okay? But mo na sa una when we have this subject microprocessor, we are really working with microprocessors. Okay? So mo to kung may masunugan og CPU, buslot jud ang bulsa. Kay mahal kayo ang processor atong time. Yeah, during interfacing, mag-create man jud ni card na i-interface sa microprocessor. Okay? So karon we cannot do it right now kay again dako kay mawagtang. And we don't have the IC na pwede magamit to match the speed of the processors. Paspas man kayo mga processor karon. Okay? Yeah, sa microcontroller again ana siya yung mga built-in IO operations. Okay? Mga additional peripherals inside that single package. Okay. So in terms of bus width, as you can see, microprocessor are very wide while microcontrollers very narrow. When talking about the address space na kaya ma-access, greater than 4 gig kaya sa microprocessor. Whereas sa microcontroller, in terms of kilobytes, ready na siya. Okay, gagmay na kayo na siya ma-access na rin. Yeah, ang data bus na to typically sa microprocessor mo range from 32 to 128 bits. Whereas when you talk about microcontrollers, nasa 8, nasa 16. Okay? Ginagmay ra jud ang information na ma-process niya at time. Unya, when talking about clock rates, of course, very fast ang sa microprocessor, gigahertz. Sa microcontroller, megahertz. Okay? So, kung mabot kag 100 megahertz, kusog na kayo na siya for a microcontroller. And ano importante, most of all, ang price. Okay? Sa microprocessor, actually, karong pa nga panahon na, talking about a $100 microprocessor, muragway baligay nga na. Mga disinti ni mong magamit. Mga karaan siguro. Okay? But sa microcontrollers, naara yun sa mga $1 to $10. Okay? So, nara sa mga 500. So, of course, depende unsa ka mahala. Depende sa capability sa microcontroller. The more peripherals it has, the more features it has, the more expensive it is. Okay? So, that's it for the microprocessors and microcontrollers. Now, how about the architecture? Okay? So, kaning architecture, guys, medyo luma na ni siya ng architecture, but essentially, this is the basis for the modern computer designs. Okay? So, the first architecture is that of the von Neumann architecture, also known as the Princeton architecture. Okay? So, in this architecture, memory space are located on the same bus, and every location in the memory has a unique address. Okay? So instructions and data are treated in the same way because they belong to the same bus. And number one problem ana niya is that ang possible bottleneck. Since ang entry point sa imuhang data o exit point, usa ra man ka bus ang agian, puli-puli ra man. And to overcome that problem with instruction prefetching, nagamit og techniques like overlapping o pipelining. Okay? So, mga na siya sa Princeton architecture. So, again, advantage po sa Princeton's architecture is that it simplifies the processor design since you only have one memory interface. So, that means usara ka location ang kuani mo sa program, usara po ka location ang kuani mo sa data. Okay? So, again, Di ba? Asa mo na nga memory ang iyang ipasabot sa RAM. Okay? Kaya di ba, when you run your program, it's stored in the RAM. And once you process your data, ang ma-update na naman na siya sa RAM. Okay? Di ba? When you create a variable sa imong program, asa mo na nimo i-allocate sa RAM. Kung magpadagan kasi mong program, asa mo na nagdagan sa RAM. Okay? So mo na kung maguba ang RAM, dali na jud kaayo mahibawan ang problema. Di jud na mo on ang computer. Okay? So, mana siya, greater flexibility in design of software because again, it simplifies the processor design. Okay? So, example of system that uses the von Neumann model, kana 8086 ng mga processors. Next, we have the hardwired architecture. Okay, kung tanaw to sa hardwired architecture, the data and code storage are found on a separate bus. Okay? And it is said to be more efficient compared to von Neumann since only few instruction cycles is required to execute one instruction. Kaya again, pila ra may size. Gagmay ra man siyang size ang iyang instruction. Few bytes ra po ang gamit. Okay? So kana, greater instruction parallelism is possible kay separate man ang sa data o sa program ng memory. So while you are fetching your data, you can actually also execute, okay, the instruction. Okay? So example na niya is kanang PIC microcontroller. Okay? So para mas ma-visualize, mo ni siya guys. Okay? So when talking about memory space, okay, ang data o program memory are treated the same. Kay usa ra man ka memory space ang ilang gi-sharean. Of course, na siya different addresses. Dili pa pwede mag-overlapping ang data o program. Okay? So essentially that is how our computers work. Okay? Kaya nga to ang data kanang mga variables gipang declare na ra man pud na sa RAM. Okay? This is the hardwired architecture, by the way. Okay? So as you can see, because separate ang memory space ni program o the data memory, it is possible for your bus to be of different size. Okay? Which is useful sad na siya if let's say for example, okay, ganahan ka nga mas dako ang imuhang program memory. So if you want to increase the program memory, ang imuhang padak-on lang is kanang 14-bit na size. Okay? Like for example, for a 14-bit size nga bus, pila may ma-access nimo? 10-bit is 1,000. So that means 11 bits, 2,000. 12 bits, 4,000. 13 bits, 8,000. So 14 bits, 16,000 kilo. Okay? Mao na ang number of address space na kaya nimo ma-access. Okay? Of course, the bit bus is still the same. Okay? So, mao yung advantage na niya. Okay? So, daghan man kay na siya ana practices with microcontrollers. The same microcontroller belong to the same model niya, maglahi lang og mga numbers, last two numbers niya mo differ raday sila sa size sa memory. Okay? So later makita na nato sa datasheet. Okay? And this is how pipelining is performed in microcontrollers. Okay? So unsa man ni pasabot ani nga graph?
Assembly na siya. Assembly.
This is an example of an assembly for microcontroller. So, mo niya ito ang assembly nga instruction. Sabi lang, don't worry kung di masabtan ron. Masabwan ra niya ni Kuhod. Okay? So, unsa man yung TCY0, it refers to the instruction cycle. So meaning for each instruction cycle, usang operation ang i-perform like fetch or execute. So as you can see here, First cycle, i-fetch niya ang instruction. Okay, so fetch. So on the next instruction cycle, ang i-fetch yung instruction is executed, while at the same time, the second instruction is being fetched. So mo na ang parallelism. Okay? So, while fetching the second instruction, ga-execute sa first instruction. On the second clock cycle, ang kanina pong second instruction may iyang i-execute while fetching the third instruction. Pag-abot sa fourth clock cycle, i-execute niya ang third instruction while fetching the fourth instruction. Pag-execute sa imuhang third instruction, unsay nahitabo? Ang i-fetch ni mo nga fourth instruction, i-flash. Nganong i-flash man sir? Nganong wag i-execute? Because ang instruction man gud diri is like a function call. That means when you call sub1, this jumps to a location in your program that actually contains a function for sub1. Mo nang ang next instruction niya i-flash. Meaning, dili na mo isunod i-execute. Kung dili ang instruction, kung asa ang function nga sub1. Mo na siya. Okay? So, function call, day ng call. Mura kag nag-call yung function. Ang kanang nga instruction. And again, mag-i-ano na ninyo guys when we will be discussing about assembly programming in PIC microcontrollers.
Karon na sa
Karon na sem. Lusod kayo next sem pa. Karon na masem. Kay ma-behind mo. Next sem pa natin discuss. Okay? Okay, another example of of an operation without pipelining. Okay? So imagine kung mag-perform ka of operation without pipelining. Okay? So, ang instruction A, when you perform washing, drying, and ironing, you need to finish that entire process before ka makasugod og wash for the next session. Diba? Dugay kayo mahuman. Abtan ka o pila ka minutes. 360 minutes. So without pipelining, walay parallelism ko. But when you use pipelining,
Wash, dry, wash,
it only took you 210 minutes. Kayo while nag-wash ka dere, okay, on the next clock cycle, nag-dry na siya, ang sa pikas na pod, isugdan na o wash. While nag-iron dire, si B nag-dry na, si C isugdan na o wash. Okay? So, nahuman siya iron, dire nag-dry na, dire nag-wash. Dire nag-iron na, dire nag-dry, then finally nag-iron. Finishing the entire operation in 210 minutes. Okay? So, muna dahil sa pipeline. Okay? Now, let's talk about kaya gitawag na term na RISC o CISC. Unsa mo sa dang RISC and CISC. Okay, so CISC meaning complex instruction set computers. Talking about the type of instruction sets that your computers are using. So as stated here, when you use CISC, it tends to have many instructions in one instruction set. And it can carry out complex operations. And that is because the instruction is very long. Okay? So basically, kung itandi na ito, murag microprocessor din, no? Taas kayo ang iyang instruction set, abot of 8 bytes. Okay? So, sagarang nagamit na niya, as you can see, Motorola, Intel x86, mao na yung nagamit og CISC na instruction sets. So, tag-as kayo ang instruction niya. Sa RISC, reduced instruction set, mas simple ang instructions. Okay? And basically orthogonal ang instruction set, meaning kung na kay read, na po kay write. Kung na kay set, na po kay clear. And as you can see in the example, PIC, AVR, ARM, mga microcontrollers. ARM, of course, is one of those mga makategorize nato under sa SOCs or SOCs. Okay? So, kung maghisgot ka og microcontroller o microprocessor, unsa man na ang risk, asa man siya magamit? Microcontroller. Ang CISC, microprocessor. Okay? So, design of control units. Okay? Now, when you are working with control units, of course, we use that to communicate with your ALUs and the main memory units. Okay? Now, sa design, it can be either using hardwired or microcode. Okay? So, unsa man ang microcode ug hardwired na design? So, basically, ang microcode is a processor within a processor. So, as stated there, signals are required to execute instructions fetched from the internal control ROM memory. Okay? And ang advantage niya is that it allows great flexibility in instruction sets. It is said to be easier to be designed. However, slower than hardwired. Okay? So kung magtan-aw ta siyang diagram, okay, unsa man jud din ang microcode diyan. Okay? So basically, it's like having a processor inside the processor nga pwede nimo ma-reprogram. Okay? Think of it as like how we use multiplexers as a programmable logic implementer, di ba? We were able to implement logic function using multiplexer. Okay? Di ba dali ra kayo mo perform og logic function using multiplexer. Just serve as the selection for the input. Nya ang imong data input will serve as gikan sa truth table nga ganahan nimo ipa-out. Pero ang disadvantage niya is that dili efficient. Kaya nga naman, ang implementation sa multiplexer is like implementing all the SOPs. Kalas kaayo og gates. Kalas kaayo power. Okay? So, mora po na sa microcode. Okay, being programmable. But of course, major advantage, simplicity. And when you modify the design, dali ra kayo. Diba? With multiplexer, all you need to change is the data inputs. Okay? So, there you just simply change the code to update the control unit. Okay? So, natay hardwired. So, ang hardwired as opposed to microcode, gi-create yun using basic gates, combinational logic circuitry. Okay? Advantage niya, straight to the point, faster, more efficient ang design. Unfortunately, since hardwired, if there are changes in the design, dili siya basta-basta mausap. Okay? Kaya you do everything from scratch. Okay? So basically, it's just like when we perform the simplification of our circuit. Mugamay ang number of gates, mas gamay ang interconnection, but of course, back to the drawing board when you design it. Mag-simplify pa ka. Okay? Either gamit kag Boolean algebra, mag-K-mapping pa ka, or your favorite, Cohen-Maklaski, or Petrik's method, di ba? So yun, yun. Usbud. Okay? So, mo na siya guys sa hardwired. Okay? So, mostly, if there ain't many changes required for the processor design, hardwired ang gamito para mas efficient. Okay? So, mo po na when you're talking about risk pod guys, okay? Usually gamit ko siya sa mga power operated na processors. Just like in your phones. So kanang phones ninyo, even though ang iyang processing capability is similar to a processor, but it's basically making use of RISC instruction sets. Okay? So ambot lang, nganong before, wala jud na siya gi-utilize ang RISC sa mga modern computers. Okay? But actually, Intel ra 6 project gamit nila. Ang katong sa Motorola nga Power PC is actually using RISC po to siya before. Okay? So, mo na siya guys. Ang end sa tuwang topic about intro to microprocessors. Okay? So, next meeting, exam tanong. So, prepare lang mo og 1/2 lengthwise.